Good morning, all. So, today I'm going to be telling you about The Wuthering Height, which is a novel by Emily Bronte. So, basically, it is a gothic novel, and yeah, as you can see, she was born on 30th July 1818 in Yorkshire and was the fifth child of Reverend Patrick. So, if you can see, as you can see, they are five in numbers. The children and the brother and sisters were five in numbers, but three of them become very, very popular because of their writing. And who were those three? So, they were Charlotte Bronte, Emily Bronte, and Anne Bronte. And later on, they became very, very popular, and they were known as the Bronte sisters, as we remember them today, with the same name called Bronte sisters, right? Now, if we talk about their education, so they were largely educated at home. Now, see, 19th century was a kind of time period where women were not allowed to take education, or where women were not allowed to take higher educations and go outside, walk freely on the road, just like men's do. Okay, so it's just that if you are from a higher class, you can prefer, or you can hire a personal tutor, or if you aren't, then just stay at home and study yourself. So we can say that these three were self-made, because they mostly spend their time in studies. And how do they study? They used to read magazines, they used to read books, and they used to read newspapers, and from there they just enhances or increases their reading skills. They do not even have friends, so what do? So they mainly spend their time in telling story to each other, story to one another, and this is how their imagination became very, very sharp, and this is how their storytelling skill increases or enhances. Now, if we talk about the novel, this is the only, or you can say the first published novel by Emily Bronte. Okay, Wuthering Height was published in 1847, and she died at such an early age of, I think she was just 30 when she died. She died of a tuberculosis, and she actually wasn't alive to see how successful her writing became later on. So, this novel, Wuthering Height, were written under a pseudonym of Alice Bell. Now, the question is, why do they why do they write, or why do they publish their novels under someone else's name, and why don't they use their own name? So that is because 19th century, as I said before, it was a time when there was a male dominance. So women writers were not considered, or were not taken as seriously as men writers. You know, their writings were considered inferior in comparison to the men. Most of the female writer of 19th century, they just published their novels under the pseudonym. They take they or they prefer, or they choose the name which sounds little manly, so that the society takes their writing seriously. Now, just moving forward to the novel, if you talk about the novel, it mainly comments on mental problem, or the mental issues of value, or the issues of morality. Now, there is one character called Heathcliff, as you can see here. Heathcliff is a main, or you can say the lead character of this novel, and he's also an evil, or you can say the negative character of the novel. So negative character become because, I'm sorry, it's because he just flew away from the place where he was living from childhood, and then he just come back to that place to take revenge. And so why he has been considered as a negative character, because he took revenge, and he created violence in this novel. But and there's also one thing, that why did he do that? Is he doing all these things without any reason? No, there was a reason. There was a valid reason. There was an authentic reason. He is doing this because he has been treated in his past in that way. When he was a child, he was bring to that villa, or to that palace, or to that whatever we call it. That there was this villa. I just do not recall the name. The name was, I think, Wuthering Height. Yeah, the name of the villa was Wuthering Height. So he was just he was brought by the owner to the Wuthering Height, and then he was being tortured there, not by the owner, but by the child of the owner. His name was Hindley. So basically, Hindley just tortured Heathcliff a lot. He used to treat him as a servant. He used to beat him. He used to abuse him. He used to torture him all the time. And as he was an orphanage child, as he was an adopted child, nobody just respect him as he should be respected in the family. So yes, this was the reason that his childhood was like this. he has been tortured, he has been bitten all the time, he has been abused all the time. So these things makes him a very tough and a very rough guy, we can say that, right? So these were the things which were in his mind, and it just grown up as time just move forwards. He just grown up with those feelings, and this is how these things come up, and so he started taking revenge, and so he became a little violent. The very close thing which was which is a character, Catherine is a daughter of the owner and a sister of Hindley. So she was very close to Heathcliff, and she left him behind. She just left him behind and get married with one of the character called Edgar, who is from a very good family, who is from a rich family, and who inherited a lot of money. So she got married with him. So Heathcliff was a kind of he's a kind of deserted man. He became a kind of deserted man because Catherine was the only thing he was in love with, or he was being in love with. So she also left him, and I think that became one of the reason that he became such a tough character. He becomes such a evil, or you can say negative character in this novel. So I think the way he was being treated is one of the reason that he become like this, that he become a little violent, that he become a little wild, that he become a little revengeful character. I think Heathcliff can be taken as a slave hero. He has been a slave throughout the novel, not throughout the novel, but in the first half of the novel, he has been a slave. But then in the second half, we can see that he has just he come up with a lot of money. He visit Wuthering Height with a lot of money. He bought Wuthering Height. Not just Wuthering Height, but he also bought Thrushcross Cranch. So this is how he is just showing his anger, that yes, I have been treated very badly in past. Now you see what I am doing with you guys. So I think this is an attitude that he come up with. He comes with a lot of money, and now he is just as equal as Hindley, as equal as Edgar. Well, not Hindley. Hindley at this point has become very poor, and when just when Heathcliff bought Wuthering Height, he gives him the job of a servant at his own villa. So can you see that how insulting it is? He has been the owner of the same villa, and now he's working as a servant. So it's just that that there's this proverb, what goes around comes around. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly or not, but आप जैसा करते हैं वैसा आपको मिलता है is what this has been shown in this novel very clearly. Hindley was treating Heathcliff very badly, and now he is working in his own villa as a servant. Not just he, but his son too. So revenge is a very prominent or is one of the major a theme of this novel. Love is also, of course, one of the theme. Now, as I said before, that love is also one of the most prominent theme of this novel, Wuthering Height. So the love between Catherine and Heathcliff is not something that can be ignored, that can be avoided. Catherine, even after being married with Edgar, she always loves Heathcliff. She was always in love with Heathcliff from inside. So you see, marriage is not something that can stop you from loving someone. If you truly love someone, it's just a ritual. The marriage is just a ritual, is what being told by the author of Wuthering Height. Okay, so yeah, this is where I'll stop myself, and well, this is not the end of this topic. We'll soon upload a video on summary and on themes too. Thank you.